you very much. It's great to be with you in Castlederg tonight. I can never come to Castlederg without thinking of the 30 sons and daughters of this town and district who were butchered by the IRA over the years. And of course, I need hardly remind you that the great cheerleaders and justifiers of those vile, bloodthirsty murders was Sinn Féin. And it is no coincidence that the greatest cheerleaders for the protocol are the same Sinn Féin. Why? Because the protocol is obtaining what the IRA could not achieve. It has moved the border in terms of trade from where it should be to the Irish Sea. It has created a situation where an all-Ireland economically is evolving. And whether you read the dozens of pages of the protocol or not, whether you understand the minutiae of what it says, the message of the protocol is summed up in this simple fact that this iniquitous protocol declares that the other part of our United Kingdom is a foreign country. That is the reality of the protocol, that the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland is no longer united as a trading entity. It is now a disunited United Kingdom because the protocol decrees that Great Britain is a third or a foreign country. That is why the EU declares that there must be checks coming from Great Britain to Northern Ireland. Because when you bring goods from Great Britain to Northern Ireland, you're bringing them from one sovereign British territory to sovereign EU territory in terms of trade, because we have been annexed into the EU single market, its customs code, its VAT regime, and it is the EU's writ, not the British writ, that runs in Northern Ireland under the protocol affecting our trade. So that tonight, over half the laws that govern our economy are made not in Belfast, not in London, but in a foreign jurisdiction over which we have no say. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the very dismantling of the union in which we all believe before our very eyes. Just make no mistake about it. Customs posts, the iniquitous puts posts that implement those checks, are the very manifestation of that fact that you're moving from British-controlled territory to EU-controlled territory. And that is something that no unionist could ever tolerate. That is why Sinn Féin are the ultimate cheerleaders for the protocol, because they recognise it is dismantling the union. It is doing the very thing the IRA could not do. And that surely is something that no one worthy of the name unionist can live under or accept. And yet, we have a candidate in this constituency who tells us the very same language as Sinn Féin. The protocol is here to stay. Well, I've got a message for him tonight. This protocol will go, must go, because this union will be, must be maintained. And of course, we all should understand what the political intent and agenda of the protocol is. It's not just about trade, it's not just about economics, it's about building an all-Ireland both economically and politically. How do you do that? By making it increasingly difficult to trade with your main market in Great Britain, to force business to trade north-south increasingly, to build an all-Ireland economy in the sure and certain belief that if you can unite the island of Ireland economically, then it is a short step to where they want to get to politically. And any unionist who doesn't get that doesn't get the protocol. That is why we gather here tonight in the realization that if we do not kill this protocol will kill the Union. And I'm perfectly sure that the people of Castlederg, who stood with such valour, with such courage against the IRA, are not now going to lie down under a protocol that does the very work that the IRA couldn't achieve. That is why, as unionists, we need to resolve that we in this generation will not fail. The future of this land lies with us. The challenge to each of us: are we going to be the generation that lost the Union? Because if we allow this protocol to continue, then this Union is slowly but surely ebbing away. And remember this, we're only in the shallows of the protocol. We have seen nothing yet because of the grace periods. And that is why it is vital and critical that this protocol is not permitted to bed in any further. And the message of the 5th of May has to be that unionists will not put up with being subjugated and edged out of this Union. And let that be the message that rallies across this constituency of West Tyrone. Unionists need to speak with strength, not weakness. And that is the opportunity that arises. And I trust it's an opportunity that is taken, because I want to look my grandchildren in the eye and say, I did my bit. I fought as hard as I could to protect this Union, and I'm sure you want to do the same. And just as the wicked IRA were unable to subvert this Union, so the wicked protocol must not be permitted to subvert this Union. And with that resolve, let us leave tonight determined that as unionists, we are those who will stand in our day against the threat that manifests itself against the Union. Because it is the Union, ladies and gentlemen, that unites us. It's the Union that preserves our position. It was fought for and bought at a huge price. It cannot, by the securing and the trickery of the protocol, be something we let slip through our fingers. So I urge you, I encourage you to stand firm. And standing firm together, we can, like our forefathers did, defeat the present threat to this very Union. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. Go home encouraged that people are prepared to rally and to stand and to get the message that this protocol, we will not put up with it. We cannot abide it. We will not lie down under it, because to lie down under it is to accept the end of the Union in which we all believe. Thank you very much.